Hi, you guys. Can you believe we are week 4 of our training already? I cannot believe it. This group has been so much fun. I feel like it's pushed me, and I hope it's pushed you just to really stay focused and on track on everything we're doing. And it just helps to have a plan, right? So always have something to push for and that you're working towards. So I want to encourage you guys to start out this week strong. Watch this video, listen to the National Wake Up Call. Think ahead about what you want your transformation post to be for this next week, and also really think ahead about how you can bring people onto your team this week, because that's really what being a diamond is all about, right? Bringing people to join you who have the same heart and same passion that you do for helping others get healthy and bringing them onto your team and helping them be successful. So I'm excited to see you guys recruit this week and to really apply what you've been learning in this group. So I hope that it's been helpful so far. So I get to talk to you today about one of my favorite subjects in the whole wide world, and it's about how to create the Beachbody culture in your challenge groups, and therefore getting coaches out of it, right? So I love challenge groups. I love them, I love them, I love them. They changed my life. I was a chronic yo-yo dieter health person where I tried everything in the book. A lot of you have heard my story before, but tried everything in the book, and I never could stick with it consistently. And it's not that those other things were bad or that they didn't work or whatever. Problem was, I was missing that sense of accountability. I was missing the sense of camaraderie. I was doing this with other people, and not just for me, but I'm helping someone else and encouraging someone else in the process just by being in a challenge group. So when my coach Carly invited, when I messaged her and reached out to her and she told me about a challenge group, I was like, oh, this sounds cool, you know, and in my head thinking, oh, it's just going to be another thing that I'm going to do and it's not going to work. But I was desperate at that point, right? And I just had my second child, and she was a good baby, but I had my girls really close together. And so I was depressed. I was overweight. I felt really hopeless, and I felt alone because we had just moved to a new place not very long before that. We had moved to a different state and out of a place where I'd been for 12 years into a new place. And there were so many changes going on. And so I was really looking for a sense of stability. So when I joined challenge groups, the challenge group with Carly, what I found was an incredible sense of belonging. And I felt like I was connected to these people because they were rooting for me. They were on this journey with me. They were encouraging me along the way, and I was encouraging them. And it was so amazing. It changed my life. And the thing was, I kind of became addicted to it. Not in a bad way, but in the sense of like, oh my gosh, like we're meant to do things together. We're meant to do things in community. So that's really what a challenge group is. That's what you and I get to do, is create a sense of community among people to help them get to their goals and help them feel and know that they're not alone in this, right? So that's what a challenge group is, and that's what it's been for me, and I'm sure many of you can echo that and have experienced that. So the thing that I have found, and you've probably heard this before, but my best coaches right now have come out of my challenge groups. Why is that? Because they've experienced what Beachbody products can do for them. And the thing about it, you guys, there's no tricks, there's no gimmicks to what we offer them, right? And that's what they find out in the challenge group. It's literally, they pick a program, they stick with it for a certain amount of time, they drink their Shakeology every single day, and they have the accountability. That's all it is. There's no like weight loss gimmicks. There's nothing like that. It's just a very simple formula combined with that accountability to help bring them a success story, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you how you can create the Beachbody culture in your challenge groups to make those challengers into coaches, right? Because that's really what we want to do. We want to help people get healthy, and then we want to inspire them to help others because it makes such a difference in people's lives. So with that being said, I'm going to give you 6 or 7 ideas of how to create the Beachbody culture in a challenge group. Some of these things you may have heard before, but some of them I want to suggest to you to look at them through a new lens. Look at them in the sense of you want to create a challenge group that people want to come to every single day, that they're afraid of missing out, right? That FOMO, that fear of missing out. You want to create that culture in your challenge group so that they come back every single day and they crave it too, because they know that it's part of their success. Accountability is part of success. So how to create the Beachbody culture, okay? Number 1, do it with them, not to them. This is pretty common sense, but I think sometimes as coaches, once we kind of get to where we want to be, we lose sight of this. You need to be committing to a program with them. So in that pre-information workout week, which I hope a lot of you do because I think it helps set up your challengers for success, tell them, have them say what program they're each doing when they introduce themselves and their goals for their time. in the group, right? You need to be doing that too, right? You need to be practicing what you are preaching. Do it with them, not to them. So if you're doing a 30-day group, plan your workout program to start with your challengers. So for example, if you're going to do a core to force group, say, I'm going to be doing the core to force program with you. I want to get results too. I oftentimes post my before pictures in my group. I don't usually do stats now that I'm at my maintenance weight because I don't feel like it's helpful for people. But, post your pictures and say, I'm doing this with you because I want to get results, because then that keeps you accountable too, right? You don't fall off the bandwagon. So the thing that I have found is that if you don't post, they're not going to post, right? If you don't post your food for the day, if you don't post your sweaty workout pic, if you don't post, and if you're not on there commenting and encouraging other people in the challenge group, they're not going to do it either. It's like that song, right? In Peter Pan, following the leader, the leader, the leader. They're following you, right? So, sorry, my former music teacher just came out in me. So, but really, it's so true. Wherever you are going to go, they're going to follow you. So lead by example, do it with them and not to them. What I have found is that your most dedicated challengers most of the time, okay, are going to be about 60% as dedicated as you are. Think about that for a second. So if you're only posting maybe 60% of the time, take that, cut it by 60% of whatever you're doing. That's what your best challenger is going to do, unless they're super internally motivated, which there are some people like that. So if you're not doing it, they're not going to do it. So take a big old gut check right now. Think about it and say, am I really being the best challenger that I can be in my own challenge group? That's really what it's all about. Okay, check in every day with them. So that's number one, do it with them, not to them. So number two, use a template, okay? How to create a Beachbody culture, use a template. It's okay if it's the same one twice in a row if you have repeat challengers, or you can switch it up, but make it easy. Use post-cron, do those kind of things so that people notice, that you are posting at the same time every day. So they're going to see that you have some sort of a system set in place. So it's not this like daunting thing where they have to, if they were to become a coach, they'd have to set up something new every single time. Use a template, because that relieves the pressure off of you to recreate things every time, but it takes the pressure off of you to recreate, but really actually to focus on your challengers to encourage them in what they're doing. So there are so many templates floating around there. If you're interested, I can post some of my templates. I'm sure some of your coaches, your coach has some templates they can offer too. I know Hard Hitters has templates that we can use. Use them. Don't feel like you have to recreate the wheel. Hey, that leaves you spinning all the time and you feel like you can never catch up. So use a template, make it easy on yourself, create the Beachbody culture by utilizing the Beachbody culture. Use our templates that we've created for you to be able to use. Number three, encourage your challengers to encourage others, right? So you should be encouraging them. You should be their biggest cheerleader whatsoever. But in order to create the Beachbody culture is about encouragement. I've been to several events now with Beachbody since I've become a coach, and I have been shocked at the amount of encouragement that goes on between coaches. There's no sense of competition. It's all about you are you. Let's help you be the best you that you can be the best coach that you can be. Here are my tips. No, there's no secrets. That's what it's all about, right? So you need to be encouraging others to encourage others. So what I do, one of the ways that I do this in my challenge groups is I make a post. I do that pre-workout week, and I make a post in the very beginning. I think it's usually on Tuesday, and it's a post, and I can share it with you if you would like. But it's a heart, and it says, "Be a giver, not a taker." And then I go into detail in this post, and I ask them to comment at the end, or like the post, depending on your style. Basically, I say, look. In this group, we're going to ask that we're all going to be givers and not just takers. Because imagine if we were all just takers, there would be nothing left to be given, right? So I take them through the process and I say, I want to encourage you to be a giver in this process. And the way that you can be a giver is by giving your best effort in the program that you are doing. So I can share that with you, but make it a part of your point system, right? That they encourage people. So say, 2 points, you can get up to 4 points a day in our point system for encouraging other people or posting an encouraging post, right? Something like that. So it engages them and it helps them to see that encouraging each other is necessary and it's easy to do. It doesn't take very long, because the thing about encouraging is that's what we do as coaches. So if you can create that culture in your challenge group of encouragement, you can eventually, we'll talk more about this at the end, but you can step back later and say to them, you're already doing what a coach does. You're a cheerleader, you're an encourager, and message those people that you see being encouragers, message them halfway through the challenge group and say, I so appreciate what you're doing in our group. You are, I feel like I'm coaching right alongside you. You're doing an amazing job. Thank you for being such a great encourager. And that's all you have to say. And then, a few days later, you can bring up the coaching opportunity, but show them already that they're already doing what you're doing and you love it. And it's about that support and that encouragement, right? So that's number 3, encourage them to encourage others. Number 4, I kind of touched on this before, but make it fun, right? Use a point system. Make it fun. Use a point system. Like I said in the beginning, make them want to show up to your group every single day because it's fun. Create an atmosphere that they love, that they feel a sense of community and that they can laugh and they can have fun and they can see what other people are doing and they feel like they know these people in their challenge group, right? If you haven't done this before or your coach didn't do it when you signed up in a challenge group, let me explain it to you. The best thing that I have found, a great motivator for people, is to create a point system that you use throughout your challenge group. And it can be, 2 points for an encouraging post, 5 points for your Shakeology pick every single day, 5 points for a sweaty selfie every single day. You could do 10 points for a Thirsty Thursday post, showing they're getting their water in. 10 points for a Flex It Friday. I also love to make it fun. And so in week 2, what I do in a lot of my groups is I create bonus opportunities for people. So I pop on and I say, hey, it's Wednesday. I'm going to give you a 10-point bonus opportunity today. Post a picture of you involving someone who is in your life, whether it's a friend, a family, it could be a pet, whatever. Do something that shows that you're involving someone else in what you're doing and you're working out. And if you don't have someone else, that's okay. Be creative in the way that you do your post, right? So make it fun. Make it so people are like, oh, I wonder what she's going to post and ask for us to do today, that kind of a thing. And so once you do that, once you do that, you can either tell them at the very beginning what the prize is going to be, or you can just say, I have a really fun prize for the person with the most points at the end. Lots of things that I like to do with this is I like to do the Fixate cookbook. That's a really great one. I've done the 10-pack samplers of the Energize from the Beachbody Performance line. I've done headbands. I've done cute bracelets. I've done a $10 Lulu gift card or $20, whatever you're most comfortable with. I've done book giveaways. I've done t-shirt giveaways, fitness tank giveaways. There's all kinds of things. Think about your challengers and what they might enjoy, and then think about, and then make that a prize at the very end. One of the best pieces of advice that I got when coming into this business is to invest 10% of your income, no matter how big or how small it is, into your business, because you will receive that investment back. So, invest that money in getting that group a challenge, some kind of a prize. It doesn't have to be expensive. It could be in between $10 to $20. And really, it's a way to keep people engaged. And so you're really going to see the rewards of that payoff. Some other ways to make it fun. I'm going to be doing this in my group starting this next month is, I heard this great idea to do Shaco on the shelf, instead of Elf on the shelf. So, do a week of where everybody has to put their Shaco in a funny place and, people have to try to find it in the picture. And maybe you could do like the first person to spot it in the picture and comment on it, gets an extra 5 points for that day or something like that. And you can only win once a week or whatever, so like make it fun for them, make it do silly stuff that keeps them engaged. I talked about the bonus point opportunity. Another one that I've done is just, randomly say, hey, I know our whys can change. What is your why today? Why do you want to stay consistent and stay engaged? 5 points for posting and commenting below on your why. That's another one. Another way that you could do to make it fun is you could create a buddy system in your challenge group. So you give every person in the challenge group a buddy. And so basically it means that they're so you say, Sarah, your buddy is going to be Carly in our challenge group. And so you're responsible to tag your person in your post every single time. And so if you don't see that person posting, you get to message them and say, hey, where are you? We missed seeing you. Did you get your workout in? So there's someone else in the group depending on you and encouraging them instead of just you as the coach. It's a great way to keep people engaged and make them feel that sense of community that we want to create as Beachbody coaches. So number 5, another way to create the Beachbody culture in your challenge groups is for you to pop on live in your groups. This is something that I just started doing a few months ago. I used to record videos, but it's so fun to pop on live because then it shows up in people's newsfeed and they're like, oh, she's on live in our group, So sometimes people will join you or else they'll watch it later. But this is, not only what this does is it makes you real. It makes you available to people. It shows that you are in it with them. You're in that group with them. It's not some pre-recorded video, but it's something that you are popping in and saying, hey, I'm with you guys. You're encouraging them. You're live, even if they watch it later. It's okay. Share with them what's coming up next and encourage them that they can do it. Use it as an opportunity to tell them about a bonus point opportunity. Okay, use these live videos to really engage people. People love this kind of stuff. Keep it short, keep it sweet. Just find a way to pop on there and encourage them and show them that you're real. It is a fabulous way to engage your coaches. And that's something that we do a lot as a coach, right? We pop on and we say, hey, I'm here. Or, oh, this is a good idea. I hadn't thought about this before, but you could offer a bonus point opportunity for them to pop on live at some point throughout the week to say a word of encouragement, even if it's just a sentence to the people in the group. Wouldn't that be cool? That's a cool idea, right? So they could do a bonus point opportunity just for popping on live. And you could use your video and the text to explain to them how to pop on live if they don't know how. That would be such a fun way to engage your group and make it all real and relatable. So that's number 5. Number 6. This is huge in creating the Beachbody culture, right? So one of the things that we do as a Beachbody coach is we do personal development. So number 6 is to incorporate personal development into your groups, okay? I just started doing this not too long ago with one of my new groups, this mom group that I started doing that I wrote a template for. And the last week is focusing on personal development as a mom and why it's important. So what I did was every day I did a little excerpt that I created, I'm not saying that right. Anyways, I did a little ditty from one of my favorite books, and I shared the book title with them, how it's helpful, and I listed out for them maybe like a passage from the book and had them read it, and then gave them a tiny little homework assignment, as simple as, I'm reading this book called The Best Yes right now. It's about making a decision, and here's this article. It'll take you 1 minute to read. Just read it, and then comment with maybe a decision that you're trying to make right now, because the article is about decisions. Comment with below with a decision you're trying to make, and if this helped you kind of think through the decision. So keep it simple. But what you're doing right there is you're introducing them to personal development in your group without them even knowing it, which is awesome. I've even introduced my groups to the compound effect. There's a digital version of the compound effect floating around that you could upload in your group and say, hey, if you're looking for something to read, to grow, not just while you're working on your physical transformation, to grow your mental and spiritual transformation, you could upload some books in there, book options for them to read along with you. That's a great idea. I'm actually going to be doing a happiness group in January where I'm going to invite people to read this book that I've been reading along with me during the course of the group. It's easy read, The Happiness Project. It's awesome. It's a funny read, but it's super helpful and it's practical. So I'm trying to figure out ways that I can help people see that, so when I introduce the coaching opportunity, it's not like, well, you have, personal development is one of our vital behaviors and this and this and this. No, I'm trying to make it like something they've already done and they can see how it benefits them and how easy it is to actually do. So that's one of the biggest ones. Number 6 is to incorporate personal development into your groups. Another way that you can do this, if you're not quite sure, as a coach, we should each be doing personal development. So you could create a post for, you could do your post for the day and then pop on later with a post maybe one time in the second or third week, maybe both times, and say, hey, I've been reading this out of this book and it made me think about you guys, and type up a little portion of the book that you've been reading and share with them and say, does anybody else see anything here that sticks out to them? Basically taking what you're doing and sharing with them how you're growing so they can see how important that is, and then they can respond to it and essentially be doing personal development too. So I think that is it was kind of daunting for me to think about because it's not really something that I've done in my challenge groups, especially when I first started as a coach. But really, I've really seen people love it. They love getting new book ideas and also figuring out ways to grow. So if you could do it like me, you could make 1 week just a personal development week where you're sharing with them all kinds of ideas pertaining to the type of challenge group it is or the people group that you have in your challenge group. Or you could pop on and just simply share with them what you're doing and learning and ask them if they got anything out of it too. So that's number 6, incorporate personal development into your challenge groups. And then number 7, it's kind of, well, it's not really part of the bullet points, but basically then you have to ask them if they've considered ever being a Beachbody coach, right? I usually have found that this is best done right around like the week and a half mark. Like probably after the first week, I start messaging people and saying, you are so encouraging to the people in my group. I just have to tell you, like, as a coach, like, I feel like you're my co-leader, and I feel like you are encouraging people, and I love it. So please keep that up. I see people responding to you. You're such a rock star. I just appreciate you so much. Then a week and a half in, send them another message and say, oh my gosh, you're being so consistent. Your results are great. I love that you're encouraging people. I seriously can't stop thinking about you, because this might sound crazy, but you're basically doing what a coach does already. This is what I do. I encourage people, and I am a product of the product, and that's what you're doing. Have you ever considered being a Beachbody coach? Just keep it simple, right? You could even, sometimes with people that I'm nervous to send that to, I say, okay, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I feel like I have to share this with you because I see so much of you I see so much of me in you in the group. But you would make an amazing coach. Have you ever thought about it? Because you're basically doing all the things that a coach does. And then, I kind of blame it on the crazy. And I say, you might think I'm crazy and you might want to blow this off. But if you're even interested about hearing a little bit more about it, I'd love to share with you. And then leave it with them. That's something that I like to do. The biggest thing is that when you ask someone and you present the coaching opportunity to them, you basically want to say, you're already doing it. You're already a coach, right? Don't make it some daunting thing for them. Make them think, oh man, I really can do this too. That's really what coaching is. It's empowering challengers. If you are a coach who is actually a challenger, who is empowering other challengers to realize that they can be a coach and challenger too. So I know that if we can really focus around these 6-7 things, we can create the Beachbody culture in our challenge groups, and it's going to make it so much easier to transition into people asking them if they want to be a coach, because it's very unnatural for us to be like, especially if we're not showing up every day, and if we're not, maybe throwing in personal development or whatever. When you start talking to them about what coaching is about, they're going to be like, oh, so we're adding in all this extra stuff. No, just make it a part of your group, and then it makes it easier to transition into asking people, right? So the biggest thing, you guys, is all these things that I'm talking to you about right now are the vital behaviors. So when you introduce the vital behaviors to your new coaches, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, we already did this in our challenge group, right? So, my coach invited me. They invited me to be a challenger and to coaching. They maybe, in my groups, I always extend an invite to them to invite their friends to be a part of my next challenge group. So you're incorporating inviting right there. Number 2, you're showing them and you're encouraging them that they can be a product of the product. They're drinking their Shakeology, they're doing their workout every single day. They're showing up every day because you are too. Number 3, personal development, right? We talked about if you can incorporate that in somehow, easy peasy, they see it can be done. Number 4, recognize. That's what that encouragement component is all about, getting them to encourage and recognize others. And that's part of our, 4 vital behaviors. I think I said 3 before, but it's 4 now. So really, what it's about is it's about taking the vital behaviors and applying them into your challenge group to create the Beachbody culture. And the great thing about it is when you create that environment where people want to be there and want to show up every day, when you introduce them to the coaching culture and the tribe of coaches that they're going to find have their back and that want the same things that they do, but there's not that sense of competition, what you're going to find is that people are going to love the challenge group, they're going to love the coaching experience, and they're going to continue to inspire other people to do the same things because you've set up a great structure for them to see that it can be done. And so it's going to be easier for them to do the same. So I'm going to post a little homework for you. I have 2 little homework assignments for you this week, okay? And the first one is pertaining to, the challenge group. And the question that I'm going to ask you is, number 1, when is your next challenge group starting and what program are you doing? So next challenge group and what program, okay? What program are you committing to with your challengers, and have you expressed that to them? Number 2, I want you to comment in the comments below 2 to 3 ways that you can see yourself personally implementing what we've talked about in this video to your next challenge group, okay? It doesn't have to be exactly what I've shared. It could be something else that maybe came to mind while I was talking, a way that you can incorporate 2 to 3 things that you can incorporate into your challenge groups that would help you create the Beachbody culture. And then there was one more thing, but I'm totally blanking out. So look at the comment section, and there will be something else for you there. But keep it simple. Really focus on those vital behaviors, and keep working on inviting people and being a product of the product, you guys. I know you hear it all the time, but being a product of the product is what's going to get you not only results for yourself, it's going to bring in more challengers, and it's going to bring in more coaches because they see that you're being consistent, and so they can be too, and consistency does pay off. So anyways, hope you guys are doing great, and keep plugging in, stay plugged in. We have a little over a week left before the 6-week qualification for Diamond. So I want to encourage you guys to really sign those coaches this week and keep going with what you're doing. You guys, I'll talk to you soon.